All right, good morning, guys. Good afternoon, guys. Good evening, guys. I believe several persons are seeing this from several space, and it's important to let you know that I'm very, very grateful that you are here, and it means so much. I also want to say thank you for those that continue to like and those that subscribe and share to other persons. I believe this space is created for bringing blessing to the heart of people in the areas of having effective life and having a healthy relationship or a healthy love life. So thank you for the privilege that you always give me to be a blessing to you and every other person that you get to share this with. I just want to say very quickly again that you should please subscribe. Let me see your understanding and what you think about what the discussion is going to be today, like, and share to someone if it blesses your heart. So very quickly today, we'll be sharing something very, very, very important, and it is simple. It is three major kind of persons that you should not be in a relationship with. Three major kind of person that you should not do your love life with. Very quickly, my name is Akintayo Korido Michael, and you must have heard me say I'm so healthily crazy about healthy relationships, people having wonderful love life, and people just having an effective and purposeful life. So, very quickly, let's dive into it. So it's important that you understand that I'm actually going to be sharing three kinds of people or three major category of people that you should not do or start your love life with. But I will also be sharing three major tips that's going to help you become better if you are one of those persons, because you understand that if that the person that you attract most times is a reflection of who you are. So if you're that person, because the idea is not just to point hands, but the idea is to become better persons as much as we are keeping our calm and caution as regards being in a relationship with someone. So very quickly, let's just dive into it. The first set of persons or the first kind of person that you don't want to be in a relationship with are the people without direction and solid convictions. You see that the people without clear direction and solid conviction. Now, I think it's important to say this at this point that as much as I am a preacher, and it's important that your relationship or what you call love life should be pleasurable and enjoyable. I want to say that one of the most important things that will make your relationship last and be more effective is when it is purposeful and it has a direction. You see, after the normal or the automatic eye of every love starting early, or the early phase of every love relationship, it's important that you understand that there would be the need to be intentional for the eye to continue. You see that? So if the eye is going to continue consistently, then it will be important that apart from the automatic eye that happens in the early stage or at the early stage, you will have to be intentional to make sure that that feeling, that good feeling continues, and it will work by being deliberate and intentional. And one of the things that will make that continue is that you have a purpose, or the person that you are going out with has a direction for their life. And it's important to even say this at this point, that one of the reasons or one of the ways that you are informed about the person that you want to go out with is their direction. You see that is their solid conviction. These are the things that tell you the kind of person that you will be with. They are the things that informs and defines the kind of person that you want to be with. And this also tells you where you most likely would be going to or headed for, because it's important that you understand that what direction your partner is headed for is going to affect you 100%. It's going to affect your own direction in life. It's going to affect where you are headed in life. And so it amazes me when people just want to be with someone and they don't want to know where they are directed for or where they are headed to. You see that? So how you know what a person is, how you are sure of where you are going to be headed for, how you are sure that where you are going to be headed for is safe in life, is to be sure what place or what direction your partner or the person you want to start something is headed for. It's very, very important. It's very important, and I think I should say this too at this point. So your partner might necessarily sometimes, or the person you want to start a relationship with at the moment, might not have an exact direction or exact purpose. Maybe God has not spoken to them about something that they should be doing or what they should be involved in, but at least it is important that they have solid convictions about life, that their core values are meaningful, that their core values are legitimate. You see that? So someone will say something like, so you might not know exactly what to do, but it is always important that at least you should know what you should not do, or you should know what you should not be doing. That's always easy to know. So you might not have a particular or exact direction that you are sure that's what you should be doing in life, but at least you should know, for instance, that you should not be doing some things. You should know that you should not be lying. You should know that you should not be stealing. You should know that you should not be double dating. You see that? You should know that you can't be an infidel. So their conviction is what tells who they are and who they are going to end up being with, or who you are going to end up being with. Their morals, their values, what they hold as important in their life. Their conviction in general is who they are. You see that? So it's very, 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 very important that the people that don't have direction, the people that don't have clear convictions, they are not people you want to be in a relationship or start a love life with. All right. So, secondly, the second set of persons you don't want to be in a relationship with, or you don't want to start your love life with, are people without a vision, or people without an ideal and healthy sight. You see that? So, the word vision here is not the bulky meaning necessarily, but I'm just saying that someone that has a healthy sight and someone that has an ideal sight. You understand? An ideal sight. So you don't want to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't have an ideal sight or a healthy sight of the basic and fundamental concept of life. You see that? So and many times the people that I mentioned first are people that tend to become people without vision or people without ideal sight. And you know, one of the things that happen with this set of people is you find out that they don't know how to converse. They don't know how to create meaningful conversations. You see, sometimes one of the things that happens with them is they run, or happen with them is they run away from conversation. I mean meaningful conversation. You see that? Meaningful conversations, conversation that anchors on where you should be. What do you think about finances? What do you think about marriage? What do you think about what a man should be like, or what a father should be like? What do you think about what raising good children should be like? What do you think about what parenting should be like? You see, the basic idea of life. What do you think about what finance should be like? What is the ideal picture of a man, or ideal picture of a father, of an appropriate mother? You see, they many times they get to run away from discussions, and this is the reason why I said most times many of them stem from even the first set of persons that I mentioned, because there was no purpose and there's no direction to their life. Many times they were unable to engage the necessary things that life should bring, that makes them have understanding about basic and fundamental things in life. You see that? Very, very important. So some persons have never read any book about marriage. Some persons have never read any book about finance. And the reason basically is because they were not in pursuit of anything that is noteworthy. You see that? Not they are not pursuing anything. It is when you pursue things that your level of engagement begins to increase, and you see what happens. Your vision, or the level of sight and healthy ideal sight that you have, is a product of the exposure that you have. So I don't know, it feels like maybe this is not true, but if you understand what I'm saying, you can drop it in the comment section. Let me know you understand what I'm saying. There are some people that they won't create conversation, they won't ask you conversation, and you see many times one of the reason is they are afraid to talk about it. They don't want to appear as wrong. They don't want to appear as they don't want to start something they know they don't have a quality idea about. And one of the things that can help even in this kind of situation is just to be sincere, vulnerable. You see that? And this will also come by the help of your partner. If the idea is you would want to grow, or if you are willing to grow, it will come by the help of your partner, making you vulnerable, making you feel secure. So when you are secure, even if you don't have a good idea or an ideal idea about it, you can still be vulnerable to speak about it. You can still feel secure to speak about it to your partner. And if your partner is a good person or the ideal partner, they can give you a better understanding, or you guys can learn together as regards it. So this is another set of persons that you don't want to start something with except they want to work on it. And sometimes you find people that excuse this for their personality type. They say they are introvert. It is not true. Whether introvert, whether you are an introvert or whether you are an extrovert, you see, one of the reasons you now find someone you say you love is because you can speak with them. If you don't speak with you or the person you love, you can speak with them. A person with a personality type that is melancholy will still speak with the person they love. Now, they might not speak with utmost gusto and zest, but at the same time, they would create at least meaningful conversation on fundamental things. Whether you are an extrovert, whether you are an introvert, you would have to speak to your partner about where you guys should be in the future. You would have to speak to your partner about what your children should look like. If you are serious, you would have to speak to your partner about where they're headed for. You have to speak to your partner about where you are headed for. So it has nothing to do necessarily with our personality type. It is not speaking loud, it is not speaking gyratingly, but this is just having to speak about something that is important, something that is fundamental, and something that is basic. And you see, to the extent to which you speak with your partner is to the extent to which you can get better. Everything you finally did with someone is because you have spoken with someone about it, or you have spoken with the same person about it. So, and that's the reason why people have meeting. Like in an organization, people don't just trust that things will be done. They have to bring it to the awareness of others. And so when you find a partner that is not talking about the basic things, talking about finance, talking about where you are headed for in life, it is many times because they don't have healthy exposure that begins to give them ideal and a healthy sight to things. Now, lastly, the set of persons that you don't want to start a love life with or you don't want to be in a relationship with are people that are not teachable. Teachable. This is very, very important. You see, teachability or the act of being teachable is one important trait that would matter greatly in your relationship, like matter in being successful even in your relationship, having peace of mind in your relationship. Teachability is one trait that is important. You know, sometimes I say, if you tell me someone has good character or character, yeah, and they are not teachable, my question would be, how did they learn good character? Because you actually cannot have good character without experiences. You see that? So how did they learn it? Whether experiences that they see from people, whether times when people had to correct them. So how did they learn it? In fact, there are times when people don't fit all the basic boxes that you want to probably want them to fit before you get married to them. But when they have that single trait called teachability, you see, many times it is easy to start something with them because they will finally get it. Now, it might take a while, but they will get it. Why? Because they are teachable. Now, this is a very, very important thing. If you don't have this, or your partner does not have this, it will be a relationship that is full of frustration. And there are many set of persons under this category. You find insincere people. They don't want to admit that they are wrong. They are conversing for the wrong reasons. The idea is you should converse or communicate because you want to be better or because you want to find a better and a correct ground. But you'll be shocked that there are some persons, the only reason they communicate and converse is because they want to win. It's funny. Sometimes you find proud people in this category. Now, proud people are necessarily not people raising up their shoulders everywhere they go, but proud people sometimes can just be that everything you say to correct them gets to them. When you show them correction, whether calmly, whether they just get, you see, the point is they become so disappointed in themselves when they notice anything that makes them feel like they are wrong. They don't want to come to the point. And you see, it is important that we have this understanding that in this part of the divide, it is full of weak persons, weak in several or different or various dimensions, and we continue to grow. So even the person that just spoke with you about something or that just corrected you about something, they are also growing in something. So if you have a partner that is vulnerable about being, they are not embarrassing you, they just wanted you to know that this thing is wrong. It's a wonderful experience to just become better. That's how we all become better. I was reading something in Genesis 3 today in scriptures, and I saw when Cain and Abel presented their offerings to God, and funnily enough, God said about Cain and Abel, God respected rather the offering of Abel, did not respect the offering of Cain, and Cain's countenance was falling. And you know, obviously, for God to do that, he saw the heart, he saw everything. So God met Cain and said, why is your countenance falling? Like, why? Why are you angry? He said, if you do the right thing, will I not respect your offering? So God made it clear that it's not like I don't want to respect your offering. You obviously saw that I respected someone's offering. Then what that means is God just informed you what you need to do, what you should be doing. God didn't say it's a sin that you did something wrong. You see, it's important to understand that it is not wrong to be wrong, but it is wrong to not admit that you are wrong when you are wrong. It's not a sin to be wrong. In fact, everybody at one point or the other will be wrong, but acknowledging that you are wrong is the problem for many persons. And that's how we become better. If you don't see things in the right way or in the right way they should be seen for exactly what they are, you wouldn't be able to get better as regards that thing. And God says, why is your countenance falling? If you did right, I would respect your offering. And he proved God right that he has a problem of not being teachable. Because what God just did was God informed him that this is the reason I didn't do this. If you do this, then it will be easy for me to do this, or it will give me the luxury to do this. Then I think what he should just do is in the next offering, he should give the right offering because God gave him details already. But it proved God right that he has a problem with being teachable, and he still went ahead to have a conversation that actually led him to killing his brother. He killed his brother Abel. You see that? And so that's the state where many persons are. Correction only informs us. Now it's important that our partner also be loving and calm while they correct their partner, but it's also very, very important that the people that actually are teachable are humble people. Most times they are not concerned about how, you see, many times when people are not people that are teachable, they have problems with everything. The last thing they look at is what they did. They are concerned about every other thing apart from what they did. So something just happened, they will never look at their part or the part they played. They are only always concerned about how somebody said something, how somebody did not do something well, how somebody would have, they are always blaming people. And this is the way scripture puts it, that when you see a speck in somebody's eyes or a log in somebody's eyes, whatever you see in someone's eyes, he said, be careful to clear that which is in your eyes. Because many times when you clear that which is in your eyes, you find out that most times you don't even see anything, or you are not even seeing anything in the other person's eyes. So many times we are the problem. And if we will just first look inwards rather than looking outward first, many things will be solved. So these are the three kind of persons you don't want to be in a relationship with. Very quickly, it's important that if you are going to be better, or if you are this kind of persons, you have to be sincere. That's the first way you get out of this. That's the first way you get better. If you don't see things for what they are, you can't become better. I used to say this several times in several moments when I'm asked to speak or talk. For everyone that you see that is legitimately successful, they might not know it or they might know it. The first weapon or the first trait that they had, or the first most important trait that they had, is sincerity. That they can see things and say, this is not supposed to be like this. We are not supposed to do this like this. And they work on it. So things will change things will work well. How civilization come is having the correct site or having a correct site. So the three major things I want you to do, that is a tip that can make you better or become a better person, is the first important thing is having a sound relationship with God, or intensifying your relationship and fellowship with the Holy Spirit. You see, what this does is it changes your environment, because in the end, it is your mindset you want to change. It is how you see things you want to change. So it changes your environment, it changes your spiritual environment. You see, you now begin to have ideal sights about basic concepts. You begin to have ideal sight about being kind. For instance, people that are not teachable, they find it hard to be vulnerable with their partners. They find it hard to be wrong with their partners. You can be wrong. It is humans that get wrong. It is not it is not devil that are wrong. Like, humans are meant to be wrong. To her is human. So it is not a sin that you are wrong. It is only a sin that you don't want to acknowledge or admit that you are wrong. Because that's how you become better. It is in acknowledging that's how you become better. So having a sound relationship with God begins to change your sight, gives you ideal sight and a healthy sight to life. Makes you begin to see that it is not wrong to be wrong. Makes you begin to see that it is not a problem to be vulnerable with your partner. It makes you begin to have a healthy sight to marriage, what a marriage should be, what an ideal man should be, what an ideal love relationship should be. You see that? Now, the second thing that is very important is your relationship. You want to be careful about your association. You see, one of the ways to set yourself up for success is to begin to plant wonderful association. Now, what this will do is it begins to change the way you see things physically. It begins to make you want to engage. It begins to challenge you. You feel like you are lazy before, but now you are challenged to take up greater things. Why? Because the friends that you have, the associations that you have, the things that you hear from them, the things that you see from them challenges and inspire you. It's First Corinthians 15 verse 33 that says that good communication corrupt good bad communication, rather, or evil communication. It says it corrupts good manners. Don't be deceived. If you have wonderful people around you, most likely you become a wonderful person. And if you have bad people around you, as time goes on, you become a bad person. He that walketh with the wise will be wise. A companion of fools, they will be destroyed. I think that's Proverbs 13 verse 20. So this is in an attempt to make you behold new things, to make you be in a new environment. Is an attempt to change your environment. And the last thing is to start reading, to take up the habit of reading. Now, let me say this: it is the three things that God wanted me to intensify at the beginning of this year. God wanted me to be more serious about these three things: my relationship with Him, and it has changed my life. It has helped me in great ways. It has helped the way I see things. So the last thing is reading, taking up the habit of reading. You see, what it does is it allows you to see into the sources of others. There are times when you only need to read to feel like you got a revelation. See, sometimes your partner might be saying some things to you, and if you see it in the book of someone that you respect, it comes as a revelation. It doesn't come like somebody arguing with you again. Sometimes your partner says something to you and you just want to argue with them. Maybe because you feel like they should love you, maybe because you are looking at the way they should say it. But many times the book of the people you read are people that you already believe they are doing well. And there's a level of subconscious respect that you have for them. So when you see them say this is the right way to do this, many times it's easy for you to want to acknowledge it. The whole idea is that you begin to behold new things. I think it's 2 Corinthians 3 verse 18 that say that as we behold, we are changed into the same image that we build. So as you continue to see these new things, it begins to change your mind, it begins to change your spiritual side, and it begins to change how you relate with people. In the end, I want to believe that this has passed a lot of blessing across to you. If this has done that, please, it's important that you like, that you share and subscribe to this channel, and somebody will get blessed if you share this with other persons. Thank you so much for being around. God bless you. I love you.